one thing we women can be sure of. If it tastes good...
Got some nice, big, fat, juicy steak.
It's probably bad for us.
Do you want to be thin or not?
Kay Mellor's fat friends are back.
Make my bum look big, don't they?
On their eternal quest for love.
8 drops guarantees a night of passion. I'll take it.
Happiness.
I want a man.
And thin thighs.
The real person's supposed to go into that.
The new series of Fat Friends, coming soon to ITV1.
Don't just talk. See. Photo messaging from Orange. The future's bright. The future's orange.
Tonight at 10:30, Des dishing out the Premiership action and Gabby and Co on the ball in 15 minutes after Saturday's latest news.
Good afternoon. A minute's silence is being held at sporting events across the country today in memory of Holly Wells and Jessica Chapman. The girls were both football fans, and this lunchtime, the first of those tributes has been held at the match between Manchester City and Newcastle. Helen Wright reports.
An extraordinary day of sporting tributes to Holly and Jessica began at Main Road, where thousands of Manchester City and Newcastle fans fell silent in their memory. Last night, members of the girls' favourite team, Manchester United, observed another poignant silence at Chelsea. David Beckham dedicated the game to Holly and Jessica. This photo of the pair in their Beckham shirts is the last ever taken of them.
To see them two little girls with, my shirts, on, was pretty, pretty nice. So, it's, I'm sure, the whole game was dedicated to them two girls tonight.
In Soham, the girls' home, more than 5,000 bouquets have been left in their memory. The flowers now cover every section of the tiny churchyard. A single television camera was today invited by the town to film the tributes. Emotions here are raw, and disbelief and bewilderment over Holly and Jessica's deaths remain.
The people of Soham can't believe it's happened here in our lovely town, and people from elsewhere have been saying their towns are like ours and they can't believe it would have happened there either.
This afternoon, events in Soham will be remembered across the country, with a minute's silence in football grounds, on cricket fields, at racecourses and in shops, as communities pause to reflect on 2 young lives lost. Helen Wright, ITV News.
A 4th woman has been diagnosed with Legionnaire's disease in the latest outbreak in the West Midlands. The woman in her late 40s is recovering at Sandwell General Hospital. The cluster of cases are centred around Oldbury and Smethwick. Health officials still don't know the source of the outbreak. 2 women are going to court to stop their former partners destroying their frozen fertilised embryos. The current law says both parties must give their consent if the embryos are to be used. But Natalie Evans from Wiltshire and another woman from the West Midlands will claim it breaches their human rights. Rescue workers in China are facing an anxious wait to see if the flood defences they've built will stop the country's 2nd biggest lake from bursting its banks. 1 million people have been working around the clock to bring sandbags to the dikes around Lake Dongting. Roland Buerk has the story.
It is a battle between the force of the flood and an army of workers 1 million strong trying to hold it back. Lake Dongting is the size of Luxembourg and it's full close to bursting. Sandbags are all that's protecting 6 cities and dozens of villages, home to 10 million people. In some places, the water held back by dikes is many feet above street level. The lake is rising by a centimetre an hour, but the biggest test of the defences is yet to come. A surge of floodwater is racing down the river Yangtze. It'll empty into Lake Dongting tomorrow morning. Already, homes nearest the lake have been flooded, leaving 250,000 homeless. Some have stayed trying to protect their property from the water, however futile their efforts. And they're examining the dikes for the cracks that will be the first sign of a catastrophic breach. But even if they hold, the region could yet face disaster. Downstream is another city of 7 million people. The surge of water will test its defences next. Roland, Buerk, ITV News.
England's cricketers have begun their first innings in the third test against India at Headingley. They're currently on 61 for no wicket. Earlier, India declared their first innings on a massive 628 for 8. Sachin Tendulkar eventually out for 193. It was India's highest ever score against England. And that's it for now. We're back at 5:25. Goodbye.
PowerGen, controlling energy for homes and business.
Good afternoon. Well, a bank holiday weekend would not be a bank holiday weekend without some complications weather-wise, and this one's sure to keep us on our toes. A number of showers around just at the moment. Over the next day or so, I think that shower risk becoming more confined to the south and the east. Most places by Monday should be fine, but there are some heavy showers around just now, as I say, principally over Scotland and Northern Ireland earlier on, but they've been edging southeastwards, and northwestern parts of England had a really wet morning. Now, gradually those showers continuing southeastwards, so many parts of England and Wales are prone from a heavy downpour. Could be thundery too. Some brightness in between. Probably the best of the sunshine through this afternoon for parts of Scotland, Northern Ireland too, and that'll be the case tomorrow. Elsewhere, further heavy showers to come. That's it. I'll see you later on.
PowerGen, controlling energy for homes and business.
Good afternoon and welcome to Calendar. The future of one of the country's leading music festivals could be in doubt after last night's concert broke licensing regulations. Dozens of residents complained to the police and to Calendar last night about noise coming from the Leeds Festival at Temple Newsam shortly before 1 o'clock this morning. Festival organisers Mean Fiddler have admitted the curfew was broken as headliners Guns N' Roses were late on stage. Leeds Council has confirmed this will be a major factor when future applications to hold the festival are considered. The future of, angry relatives of pensioners suffering from Alzheimer's and dementia are protesting at a plan to close care homes run by Bradford Council. Broadstones Home is one of 3 facing the axe, along with Greenacres and either Meadowcroft or Woodward Court. The council says money saved will be invested in extra care and housing schemes, allowing older people to live in the community. Relatives have drawn up a petition against the proposals, which they say will devastate their families. People using the region's rail network to head for the coast this bank holiday weekend face disruption as Arriva Trains workers stage yet another walkout. Conductors have gone on strike for the 2nd time this week over a pay claim. One of the lines most affected is the popular York to Scarborough route. The strike coincides with the final public holiday of the year and one of the busiest weekends for tourism. Some sport news now, and Leeds United is refusing to comment on a report that David O'Leary is planning to sue the club for around £1 million. O'Leary was sacked by Leeds back in June when he still had 4 years left on his contract. It's been reported O'Leary now plans to take Leeds to a Premier League tribunal after a breakdown in talks with the club. And in rugby, Bradford Bulls were knocked off the top of the Super League last night by St Helens, who strolled to an easy 64-0 win over Halifax. The Blue Sox let in 11 tries and the result leaves them hovering above the relegation zone. Meanwhile, Leeds are 4th in the table after a 30 points to 16 win over Wakefield, who are also too close to the bottom for comfort. Meanwhile, one football result to tell you off. It's finished Mansfield 0, Chesterfield 2. And that's just about it from everyone here in the Calendar News team for now. I'll be back with the news and sport tonight at 5:10. Until then, do enjoy the rest of your afternoon from everybody here. Bye-bye.
The search is on for contestants to star in a brand new antiques quiz show. If you're an antiques aficionado and know your Clarice Cliff from your Coalport, then we'd like to hear from you. So send your name, address and daytime phone number to That's Your Lot, Yorkshire Television, Leeds LS3 1JS.
Yorkshire weather.
Hello and good afternoon. Well, unfortunately, this afternoon we are seeing more showers developing around the region. At their heaviest, they are spilling over the Pennines in the south and the west of the region. The best day probably will be up towards the northeast, where it will be mainly dry, but there is the risk of a shower nearly all around the region. In between these showers, though, some sunny spells and temperatures could get up to around 20 degrees Celsius, but more generally, amidst the showers, around 18 or 19 degrees Celsius in winds, fairly light and falling from the northwest. Throughout the course of this evening, we are going to keep those showers going in the south of the region, and also some patchy rain is edging up the east coast by dawn. Elsewhere, very cloudy conditions, mistiness developing. In North Yorkshire, things should be fairly dry, with temperatures tonight getting down to around 12 degrees Celsius, winds light again and northwesterly. Tomorrow, a grey start, some sunshine later, but showers and further rain on the east coast. Here's a summary.
Police want to talk to this man seen here in a Rotherham supermarket in relation to an earlier incident at a house in the town. He's described as being around 30, 5'8" tall, of chubby build with a square jawbone and short spiky hair. If you know who he is, call Crime Stoppers now on 0800 555 111. Your call is free and you could claim a cash reward.
Every day, the school run creates over 1 million car journeys. To ease the congestion, the new Kia Rio can take up to 30 kids in one go. Because the Rio comes with all the help you need to set up a walking bus scheme at your chosen school. Isn't that a more sensible way to go? Kia. Think before you drive.
Why do our members prefer AOL?
The channels are great. Rather than search through stuff on the web, AOL group it all together and the internet's just a click away.
There's always something new because they're always updating it.
AOL search and keywords are brilliant. Everything's so quick and easy to find.
You get so much more with AOL, and the helpline's completely free. Who can match that?
Until we joined AOL, we had no idea what we were missing. It's great value too.
For your completely free trial, call 0800 376 4444.
It's expensive, it's unreliable, it's MOT time, and your car's a wreck. But to us, it's a deposit. Carcraft, there's over 1,500 cars in stock. Carcraft, many cars at £25 per week. Carcraft, £99 or any old car with or without an MOT as a deposit. Carcraft of Sheffield, where in most cases you can drive away in an hour. Junction 33, M1. Follow the signs for the airport.
Hi, Debbie. Here we go, boogie boogie.
I'd love to, but I've just sat down to dinner.
New Dolmio microwavable pasta and sauces. Proper food pronto.
News from round 8 of the Formula 3000 Motor Racing Championship in Magna-Cours at 2 before young Hercules sprints into action at 2:30. First, the focus is on football.